folks, and welcome to this demonstration of my Skmei men's stainless steel LCD digital watch. So Skmei are an interesting brand. They do quite a lot of homages of Casio digital watches. So I'll just show you an example of that here. Here's a, get in focus, Skmei versus the Casio Royale, or A1200. But the Skmei doesn't have a true digital hands, and it doesn't have a world map, which is the date there. So very similar looking, but not quite as good. And that watch was of course, like the Casio, a resin case with a silver colouring, whereas this is actually a stainless steel watch. And Skmei have branched out into not just doing digital homages of Casios, but this particular one, they've done a homage of the Patek Philippe Nautilus, which is one of my favourite designs of watches. I must admit, I do love the look of it. I obviously can't afford one. So it's nice to be able to have something that's the same style and digital, because, you know, digital love watches are my first love. So yeah, and at a price that I can afford, which is, when I bought this on eBay, it was only £17, which included delivery. So please do bear that number in mind whenever I'm talking about this watch and the pros and cons of it. It's £17 watch. So yeah, the finishing is quite basic. So whereas on the Nautilus, there's lots of different aspects to the finishing. This one, basically, you've got a polished case, a brushed bezel, and I think the edge of the case here is brushed, as is the bracelet brushed, but you don't have polished centre links or any of the sort of more fancy detailing on the real Nautilus, or even some of the fakes. But again, £17, remember. It's not particularly waterproof either, unfortunately, unlike the Nautilus. This is only 3 atmospheres waterproof, which isn't, you could have thought they'd done a little bit better. I'm guessing it's the buttons that are the problem. But there we go. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of the case. You know, the bracelet is, well, it is a bracelet, and it is made of stainless steel, and those are its main positive features, I think it's fair to say. The display is, it's got nice big main numerals, which is useful, and I like the dot matrix for the day of the week. Although it says week, and it's actually the day. Although it has got the dates below there. So yeah, some slight misleading labelling there. And these black bits, the dual time, week and date, are actually printed, whereas the rest of it is the part of the LCD display. And I would say that depending on the light, the angle, or the angle the light catches it, the display isn't always got such good contrast as it's showing on the camera here. But there we go. So let's have a quick look at the features. So that's the main time mode. You can do a 24-hour mode as well. And you've got an alarm mode, and you've got a stopwatch, start, stop and reset. You've got dual time, so you can have another time zone, and you've got a countdown timer. So that's a bit of a rare feature on Casios. They tend to reserve it for the sort of more expensive models, and they even make a module that's got it and it's disabled, and you can enable it through a little bit of modding to the module. So yeah, I'm glad to see they put a countdown timer in it, because that is, I find, probably the most useful digital watch feature. And then you're back to the main time mode there, and it does have a backlight, which is a full electroluminescent one. So yeah, the Skmei men's stainless steel digital watch. I think this is actually referenced 2004 according to the eBay listing. And I've got something crawling across the face of it there. But yeah, I love the look of it. And for £17, you can't really go wrong. So it gets a thumbs up from me, I must admit. And they have got some other variation, or other similar sort of watches which echo the style of other watches. So I might do, I have bought another one actually, a Royal Oak homage. So that will hopefully be, if not my next video, then the one after that. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching as always. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you soon.